Listen closely, for what I'm about to share with you may very well be the most important message you will ever hear. In this very moment, as you consume these words, time, your most precious and irreplaceable resource, is slipping through your fingers like sand through an hourglass. Each second that passes is gone forever, never to return, never to be reclaimed, never to be lived again. Do you feel that? That subtle tremor in your chest? That is the sound of opportunity knocking, and it is knocking with the urgency of a fire alarm in the dead of night. Yet most people, the vast majority of humanity, remain asleep to this eternal truth. They slumber through their days, their weeks, their years, believing that time is an endless river from which they can drink whenever they choose. But I ask you this, when was the last time you truly examined the cost of your procrastination? When did you last calculate the compound interest of your delays, the mounting debt of your hesitation, the bankruptcy of your excuses? Every moment you spend in the comfort zone of mediocrity is a moment stolen from your destiny, a brick removed from the palace of your dreams, a candle extinguished in the cathedral of your potential. You see, my friend, there exists in this world two types of people, those who understand the sacred nature of time and those who squander it like a drunk sailor tosses coins into the wind. The first group builds empires, creates legacies, and leaves footprints in the sands of eternity. The second group leaves nothing but regret, excuses, and the bitter taste of what could have been. Which group do you belong to? Be honest with yourself, for in this moment of truth your very soul is listening to your answer. Time is not neutral. It is not waiting for you to be ready. It does not pause for your fears, your doubts, or your elaborate plans for tomorrow. Time is the great equalizer that gives every human being exactly 24 hours each day, yet it is also the great divider that separates the successful from the mediocre based solely on how those hours are invested. Think about this. While you have been reading these words, approximately 3 minutes have passed. 3 minutes that you will never get back. But here is the profound question. Were these 3 minutes an investment in your future self, or were they simply another withdrawal from your dwindling account of precious moments? The wealthy understand something that the poor do not, that time is the only true currency in life. Money can be earned, lost, and earned again. Relationships can be built, broken, and rebuilt. But time flows in only one direction, and it flows with the relentless persistence of a river rushing toward the sea. Every great achievement in human history began with someone who refused to let another day pass in mediocrity. Every masterpiece, every invention, every empire, every movement that changed the world started with an individual who looked at the clock and said, "Not one more minute will I waste on anything less than my highest calling." But perhaps you are thinking, "I have plenty of time, I'm young, I can start tomorrow, next week, next month, next year." If this is your thinking, then you have already fallen victim to the greatest thief that has ever lived, the thief of procrastination, who whispers sweet lies in your ear while picking the pockets of your potential. Let me paint you a picture that will haunt your dreams and awaken your spirit. Imagine yourself at the age of 90, sitting in a rocking chair, looking back over your life. What do you see? Do you see a life fully lived, a destiny fulfilled, dreams achieved, and legacies built? Or do you see a graveyard of buried dreams, a museum of missed opportunities, a library of unwritten books, and a theater where the greatest performance of your life never took the stage? The tragedy is not that people aim too high and fail. The tragedy is that they aim too low and succeed. The tragedy is not that dreams are too big for reality. The tragedy is that people make their reality too small for their dreams. If this message is stirring something deep within your soul, if you feel the awakening beginning, then I ask you to do something right now. Subscribe to this channel, for the wisdom you need is here waiting for you. And if these words have touched your heart, share them with someone who needs to hear this truth. Wisdom shared is wisdom multiplied, and your act of sharing might be the spark that ignites someone else's transformation. Now that your consciousness has been stirred from its slumber, let me reveal to you the fundamental principle that separates those who master time from those who are mastered by it. This principle, discovered through decades of studying the most successful individuals who ever lived, is what I call the law of deliberate time investment. This law states that every moment you live is either an investment or an expense. Every action you take is either building your future or borrowing from it. Every choice you make is either adding compound interest to your dreams or charging compound interest to your regrets. The masters of success understand that time is not something to be spent, but something to be invested. They do not ask, "How can I kill time?" They ask, "How can I multiply time?" They do not seek to pass the hours, but to transform them into stepping stones toward their definite major purpose. But here is the revelation that will change everything for you. The quality of your future is determined not by the time you have, but by the consciousness you bring to the time you use. A single hour lived with burning purpose and focused intensity is worth more than 100 hours lived in mediocrity and distraction. Consider the master sculptor who looks at a block of marble. Does he see the marble, or does he see the masterpiece hidden within it? Time is your marble, and every moment is a chisel stroke that either reveals the masterpiece of your life or chips away meaninglessly at the stone. The successful person has learned to live each day as if it were their last, while planning as if they will live forever. They have mastered the paradox of urgency and patience, urgent in their daily actions, patient in their long-term vision. Think of time as a river with two sides. On one side lives the person you are today, with all your current limitations, fears, and excuses. On the other side lives the person you are destined to become, the fulfilled, successful, powerful version of yourself that exists in potential. The bridge between these two selves is built one moment at a time, one choice at a time, one day at a time. But here is the secret that the great achievers know. The bridge is not built of days or months or years. The bridge is built of moments of decision, and the most powerful moment of decision is always now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, now. Every second you delay is a second given to your competitors, your circumstances, and your fears. Every moment you hesitate is a moment that your dreams grow dimmer and your excuses grow stronger. Every day you postpone is a day that someone else with less talent but more urgency moves closer to the success that should have been yours. The wealthy think in decades, plan in years, execute in months, and act in days. But the crucial element is this: they begin in moments. They understand that the longest journey begins with a single step, but more importantly, they understand that the step must be taken now. Time is the great revealer of truth. It reveals who you really are beneath all your excuses and explanations. It reveals whether your dreams are genuine desires or mere fantasies. It reveals whether your commitments are promises or just pretty words dressed up for social approval. Here is the mathematical reality that will either inspire you or terrify you. If you waste just 1 hour per day, one single hour, on meaningless activities, you will have wasted 365 hours per year. That is more than 9 full work weeks annually. In 10 years, you will have squandered over 90 weeks of potential productivity. In 20 years, nearly 4 years of your life will have vanished into the void of meaninglessness. But the compound effect works in reverse as well. If you invest just 1 hour per day in developing your skills, building your business, nurturing your relationships, or creating your art, you will have invested 365 hours annually into your future self. In 10 years, you will have accumulated over 3,650 hours of deliberate improvement. That is enough time to master any skill, build any business, write any book, or create any legacy. The choice is always yours, and the choice is always now. The time for gentle suggestions has passed. The time for comfortable advice has ended. The time for soft encouragement is over. This is your moment of command, your call to action, your marching orders from the universe itself. You have been chosen to receive this message at this precise moment in time for a reason. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but by the invisible hand of destiny that guides all things toward their highest purpose. You are reading these words because your soul has been calling out for awakening, and the universe has answered that call. But calling is not enough. Awakening is not enough. Understanding is not enough. You must act, and you must act now. With the force and determination of a warrior charging into battle for the most important cause of all, your own magnificent life, I command you to stop making excuses. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking guarantee. Stop looking for perfect conditions. Stop hiding behind the comfortable lie that you need more time to prepare. You have been preparing your entire life for this moment, and this moment is now demanding your response. I command you to take inventory of your time as ruthlessly as a banker audits accounts. Where are your precious hours going? What activities are you investing in that multiply your potential? What habits are you feeding that devour your dreams? What people are you surrounding yourself with who lift you up versus those who drag you down into mediocrity? I command you to create what I call your time investment portfolio. Just as the wealthy diversify their financial investments, you must diversify your time investments across the areas that matter most: your health, your skills, your relationships, your spiritual growth, your creative expression, and your service to others. I command you to establish your daily power hour, one sacred hour each day that belongs entirely to your future self. This is not time borrowed from sleep or stolen from family. This is time deliberately carved out and fiercely protected for the work that only you can do, the dreams that only you can build, the legacy that only you can leave. I command you to write your time covenant, a written contract with yourself that declares how you will honor the gift of time you have been given. This covenant must be specific, measurable, and absolutely non-negotiable. It must be reviewed daily and lived moment by moment. I command you to become what I call a time multiplier. Stop thinking about how to save time and start thinking about how to invest time in activities that create more value, more impact, more meaning than the time you put in. Teach someone what you know. Build something that lasts. Create something that serves. Love someone deeply. These activities multiply the value of your time investment far beyond what you put in. I command you to join the ranks of what I call the time conscious, those awakened souls who live each day with full awareness that this day will never come again. They wake up with gratitude for the gift of another 24 hours. They go to sleep with satisfaction that they invested those hours wisely. They live with the constant awareness that time is their most precious possession. But most importantly, I command you to begin immediately. Not after you finish reading this. Not after you think about it. Not after you make your plans or organize your schedule or wait for Monday morning. Right now, this moment, as soon as you finish reading these words. Because here is the final truth that will either liberate you or condemn you. The time you waste today is time stolen from your tomorrow. The dreams you postpone today become regrets you carry tomorrow. The person you refuse to become today is the person you will remain tomorrow unless you act now. If you have found wisdom in these words, if you feel the fire of possibility burning in your chest, then prove it with action. Subscribe to this channel right now, for this is where you will find the daily fuel for your transformation. Share this message with someone who needs to awaken to their power, for in teaching others we teach ourselves, and in lifting others we lift ourselves. Your moment of decision is now. Will you join the ranks of the time-conscious, or will you return to the slumber of mediocrity? The clock is ticking. Your destiny is calling. Your future self is watching. And time, beautiful, precious, irreplaceable time, is waiting for your answer. What will it be? Remember this eternal truth, and let it echo in your mind every morning when you wake and every evening when you rest. Time is the substance of life. When anyone asks you to give of your time, they're really asking for a chunk of your life. Respond accordingly and treat every moment as the sacred gift it is. Now go, create, build, become. Your greatest life is waiting, and it will not wait forever. The two most important days in your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why. But the most important moment is the one when you decide to stop wasting the time between those 2 days.